She needs the sink. And that sink needs unblocking. Homebase, all your home needs. Nice background. What colour's that?
I know, no introduction needed. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining us on the programme, Sebastian Vettel. You brought this drink with you. It's called Perple, and I said, why is... But it's not coloured purple.
It's not, because it stands for performance and pleasure, so P-E-R-P-L-E.
OK. Tell me the story behind it. Why are you involved?
Well, the story is not that long, but obviously I've been active and, you know, we have a drink inside the car and at some point, you know, you have all these professional people around you telling you what to do, how to train, what to consume, what to eat, and obviously what to drink. There's a lot of sports drinks out there.
Like Red Bull?
And and you don't sort of, at the beginning, you don't think, you just take whatever somebody says is best and you try. But, you know, doing sports, I was experiencing a lot of side effects, and everybody else that I know also did or does. I think, you know, we did some research, and 1 in every 5 people experiences side effects, bad side effects associated to sports drinks. So towards the end of the career, I got, you know, I got my hand on a product which is now Perple, and it didn't do that. So, and you know, the reason why I was curious, so I asked questions. I got to know the founder and the product more. And Perple is an all-natural product, which you know, a lot of the industry isn't. Yeah, exciting because it's sort of refreshing and doing things for the first time in a good way.
And how do you feel about Red Bull, the drink, now?
Well, I think it's a different type of drink and it's a different market. This one is really like a sports drink for the active person, not only for Formula 1 drivers. That would be a very small market with only 20 people, but for anybody who is enjoying performance and pleasure. That's why it's called Perple.
What do you think about Red Bull, the business? They're in a lot of trouble off the track at the moment. What do you think about what's going on there?
What do you mean, not selling cans? Or I don't know.
No, I don't mean that, as you well know. I mean about Christian Horner.
Well, I mean, obviously there's been a lot of talk since the beginning of the year. I think with these things, it's always difficult to know everything. And it would be nice if there was simply more transparency so that you really, you know, could have more of an opinion. I think it's always difficult if you read one thing, then another thing, and then the opposite. And then I think, you know, like now, things are going round in circles. The shame is that obviously Max is doing a great job. The team, a lot of individuals that I remember from my time there are doing a great job in the background, and that's sort of forgotten when the subject hovers around something else. How
were women treated when you were there?
Well, F1 is, it's changing, but it's an old-fashioned business in many ways. So first of all, there weren't many, but you know, the numbers were going up. So when I started and when I left, there was a lot more women in the paddock and a lot more women not just following the sport, but also working in the sport. So I think there's a positive change. But I think really like everywhere else, there's still room for improvement.
Is it harder winning a world title with Ferrari?
It's different. I mean, I didn't manage, so I could say yes. But it's definitely different. It's a different vibe. I guess you're asking because Lewis is moving to Ferrari.
You're reading my notes.
No, I'm not, but it's fairly obvious.
It's a fairly obvious question. So, what do you think about Lewis moving to Ferrari?
I was surprised, like I guess most of us. But, you know, exciting. It's, you know, obviously he's looking for a new challenge, and it will be different to see him in red, in a different colour. But.
And how do you think he'll get on with Charles?
Charles is good. Charles is easy, so he's very quick and very competitive, but so is Lewis. So it's more...
That's what it takes to be a world champion.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more difficult, I guess, for the team to manage.
And what are your plans for the future? What are you planning to do?
Well, I'm excited about this. That's why I'm here. I know. But, you know, really it's, you know, obviously as a sportsman and sportswoman, I think at some point...
Do you know why I'm asking? Because you knew all the other questions.
I knew all the other... Exactly. So it's good. No, I think...
Rumours you're going to drive for Porsche at Le Mans.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know yet.
You've been testing the car, right?
I've been testing it. I was curious, so I wanted to see how it feels. It's obviously a different discipline. It's still racing, but it's a different car, different discipline. But yeah, lots of things that excite me, lots of different things not necessarily just looking at something behind the wheel, but also outside the car. And I think it's a question that we all have to
Sounds to me like you might be
answer.
tempted.
Yeah, I am, and I'm not. I mean, I'm obviously also looking for lots of other things, and there's lots of other things that do interest me outside racing.
There's a car free at Mercedes, I believe.
I didn't know that.
Well, Lewis is moving on, so, you know.
No, I don't know. I mean,
Would you be
I
tempted
stopped.
back to Formula One?
There is bits that do excite me, of course, when I think about it, but there is also bits that don't. And I think when
What do
I
you
stopped,
miss about it?
well, the thrill, the speed. I think the competition mostly, really. I mean, driving quick is not the only thing, but it's really the competition.
So you've not been approached?
I'm talking to a lot of people because I know them.
You're good at this, aren't you?
But not very specific. I mean, obviously it does cross my mind. I do think about it, but it's not the main thought. I have 3 kids at home. It's busy every day, so there's a lot of other thoughts that I have.
Are you talking to Mercedes?
I'm speaking to Toto. I don't know if that qualifies as Mercedes, but about other things, you know, there's ideas that I have, events that I'm planning going forward. So I did speak to a lot of other team principals as well, and not only about racing.
OK, my son tells me that you're very into synthetic and renewable fuels.
Well, I am into the environment. I am into, you know, the future, you know, being a father, having children. I think naturally you are probably a bit more, I don't know, future becomes more something to grasp. So I'm into that, and I think it's fascinating to see how many people, you know, do try and make a difference, devote their life and passion towards it, and try and make the world a better place, because it's something that concerns all of us. Yeah.
And even down to the lowest level where well, not the lowest level, but when you were racing at, I think it was Silverstone? You stayed behind afterwards to clean the stands?
Yeah, correct. Obviously, you know, it's a big event. There's lots of big events, not only racing. And, you know, with that, I think comes a certain responsibility. So I was curious, and I was wondering how much, you know, litter there is, how much rubbish to pick up. So I stayed around and cleaned together with some fans the grandstand, shocked by the amounts. And was curious as well where it goes, so what happens afterwards. And up to a couple of years ago, it went to landfill, which is really bad. Nowadays, at least it gets collected and burned, and you get some energy out of it. But best case, you don't even produce that much waste. And it's not the people to blame that are, you know, visiting these sort of events. It's more, you know, the responsibility when you host these kind of events. What sort of products do you allow to hover around? Etc. So
I'm flying around the world to Grand Prix on the Grand Prix.
Exactly, and then that happens 3 days, every Grand Prix, 24 times a year, and so on. So it might be a small thing to some, but you know, it all adds up and makes a difference.
Too many races?
Depends what you're looking for. For some people, they always want more, but yeah, I think there is a fine line between you know, keeping a balance of also entertaining and then diluting and having too many. Obviously, it helps if the sport is more exciting. Max is doing his best not to do that at the minute, but fair enough, he's doing a good job. And
you could take him on. You could take him on.
You want me to come back then?
Yes.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because my son's a big fan of yours and he thinks you're a brilliant driver.
Thank you very much. Regards to your son. Like I said, you know, obviously there's thoughts, but nothing concrete at the minute.
At the moment, OK. Is that for me?
That's for you, yeah.
Sensational. I'm going to give it a go.
Happy to keep.
I will. Thank you very much.
Yeah. For everybody else who wants, it's drinkperple.com.
Fantastic. Good to see you.
Thank you.
It's got mango in it. Fantastic.
Yeah, you should try it.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Open it up, try it.
I will, after I've read the weather.
Exactly.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
Take care.
Here.